Have you ever pondered over the question, is there life after death? This query, seemingly simple, is in truth a paradoxical conundrum, teeming with inherent contradictions. It's like asking if a fire can be cold or if darkness can be bright. It's not just about the question's complexity, but its very essence that defies the laws of nature. You see, life, by its very definition, is a state of living, of existence, of being. It's a powerful, self-sustaining force that thrives, evolves, and endures. Life, in its most fundamental form, is the embodiment of vitality and animation. It's the energy that courses through every living being, the spark that ignites the universe, the force that propels existence. As such, life cannot die. Just as a fire cannot be devoid of heat, or light cannot exist without illumination, life cannot cease to be. It's an unstoppable force, an ever-flowing river, a flame that never extinguishes. It's a cycle, a rhythm, an eternal dance of existence. On the other hand, death, the polar opposite of life, is the cessation of life. It's the end, the finality, the termination of existence. Just as life cannot die, death by its very nature cannot live. It's a state of non-existence, a void, an absence of life. It's the extinguishing of the flame, the silencing of the music, the fading of the light. Therefore, the question, is there life after death, is paradoxical, a contradiction in terms. It's like asking if a flame can remain after it's extinguished, or if a song can continue after it's ended. It's a question that defies logic and challenges our understanding of the fundamental principles of life and death. So instead of asking if there is life after death, perhaps the question we should be asking is there death after life? Imagine, if you will, the journey of the soul. Soul embarks on an extraordinary voyage, a journey that is as enigmatic as it is profound. This living entity, this essence of consciousness and being, finds a vessel to inhabit, the human body. The body, in its inherent state, is devoid of life. It is an intricate yet inert structure of flesh and bone waiting to be animated. This grand tapestry of existence, the soul breathes life into the body, kindling the spark of consciousness, animating the inanimate. It infuses the body with vitality, with emotions, with the capacity to think, to feel, to love, to learn. Our body, this marvel of nature, becomes a living, breathing entity, not by its own virtue, but by virtue of the soul it houses. Soul invigorates the body, casting a luminescent glow of life, a glow that illuminates every facet of our existence. The soul, in its ceaseless energy, lends the body its vibrancy, its dynamism, its ability to experience the world in all its splendor and complexity. The body, in this symbiotic relationship, serves as the vessel, the carrier of the soul, facilitating its interaction with the physical plane. But as all things in this universe obey the law of impermanence, so does this alliance between the body and the soul. There comes a time when they must part ways, when the dance of life reaches its final cadence. The soul, however, continues its journey. Unfettered by the confines of the physical form, it retains its vitality, its consciousness. It continues to exist, continues to be a living entity, a spark of the divine that is forever undimmed. The time comes for the body and soul to part ways. The body returns to dust, while the soul continues its existence. We may never fully understand what happens when the soul leaves the body, but perhaps we don't need to. The important thing is not where we go, but how we live, how we love, and how we grow. After all, the soul is a living entity. It doesn't borrow life, it is life. It doesn't cease to exist when the body returns to dust. It simply continues its journey. Soul, eternally alive, continues its journey beyond the confines of the physical body. What of our emotions, memories, and relationships? What happens to them when we die? These aspects of our existence, integral to the fabric of our lives, do not simply evaporate into nothingness at the moment of physical death. They are not shackled to the confines of our mortal coil. They are part of the life force within us, the part that knows not how to die, the part that only knows how to live. Each emotion we've felt, every memory we've formed, and each relationship we've built are living entities themselves. They are born from life, nurtured by life, and like life itself, they continue to exist. They are the echoes of our soul's journey, and they are not silenced by the mere cessation of our heartbeat. Our emotions, those raw, potent, and vivid feelings that have painted the canvas of our existence, they live on. They are the echoes of our soul, the vibrant, ever-changing hues of our essence. They persist, for they are life itself, and life, as we've established, cannot die. Our memories, too, are not transient. They are not fleeting sparks in the vast void of oblivion, destined to be extinguished. They are imprints of our journey, markers of our existence. They persist, for they are born of life, and life, in its infinite wisdom, knows only how to persist. And our relationships, those intricate webs of connection that bind us to others, they too persist. They're not mere constructs of our physical existence, destined to crumble with the decay of our bodies. They are the bonds of life, the ties that bind our souls. They persist, for they are born of life, and life, in its unyielding tenacity, knows only how to endure. So when we speak of death, let us not speak of an end, for life does not end. It continues in our emotions, our memories, our relationships. It continues in every aspect of our existence that knows not how to die, that only knows how to live. Life in all its facets persists. It cannot die, it can only live. Let us conclude with a beautiful poem that encapsulates our discussion. It reads, "Life is true, life is real, and death is not its goal. From dust you are, and to dust returneth, was never said about the soul." This verse embodies our contemplation in a rather profound manner. The poem declares, life is true, life is real, and death is not its goal. It's a poetic affirmation of life's unending nature. It insists in no uncertain terms that death is not the destination of life. It's a transient phase, a mere pause in the grand symphony of existence. Then the poem goes on to say, "From dust you are, and to dust returneth, was never said about the soul." These lines draw a sharp contrast between the physical body and the soul. The body made from dust returns to dust. It's ephemeral, transient. The soul, however, is a different story altogether. The dust-to-dust decree was never applied to it. The soul, by its very nature, is eternal, unending. This poem reinforces the idea that the body is transient, returning to dust, while the soul is eternal. It's a vivid reminder of our discussion. The body borrows life from the soul. The body is not inherently a living thing, the soul is. When they separate, the body returns to its original state, dust, while the soul continues its existence. Poem, in its simplicity, captures the essence of our conversation. It's a poetic testament to the everlasting nature of the soul and the transient nature of the body. It's an affirmation of life, a dismissal of death, and an ode to the eternal journey of the soul. So remember this: life lives, bodies turn to dust, and the soul, independently alive, continues its journey.